friends, Zoe here. Today I'm super excited to talk to you because today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a story time on one of my very favorite subjects, which is the law of attraction. If you guys have been following me along on Instagram, you might have noticed I just had a grande trip to Jordan for almost 2 weeks. It was truly the trip of a lifetime, and I feel like I'm a completely changed person after this trip, and I really can't wait to share all of my travel diaries and experiences with you because it was really, truly magical. And I truly believe that I manifested this trip, manifested this opportunity, and all of the amazing experiences that went along with it. So I've decided to share with you today, after asking you on Instagram, of course, all about how I manifested my trip to Jordan. So let's get started. So first of all, I guess I didn't address this at first, but I did just cut my hair. I just got back from the hairdressers. Like I said, Jordan changed me, but really I felt like I needed to change. I've been thinking about cutting my hair for a little while, and it's really hard for me to go to the hairdresser and feel comfortable. I have one amazing hairdresser in Toronto, but I couldn't wait because I don't know exactly when I'm going back to Toronto, so got it cut off today. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Let me know down below what you think. All right, so how did I manifest such an amazing trip to Jordan? All expenses paid, may I tell you. So obviously this was the trip of a lifetime, like I keep expressing to you. Really, I am so incredibly grateful, and I really hope that my travel diaries relay that gratitude and all of the magic that the visit to Jordan brought me. So like I said, I'm really looking forward to sharing them with you. Please be patient though. I like to take my time on my travel videos. My travel diaries are always linked below if you're interested. I just feel like that's how I truly express my creativity and my passion and amazement for this world. So stay tuned. Why Jordan? How come I chose to manifest a trip to Jordan? When I was in high school, I really enjoyed history, and while I was in university, a portion of my studies was on the Middle Eastern history, and I gravitated towards it so much. I found every little bit of that history so fascinating, not just Jordan, but all of the surrounding areas. So I always told myself, which is like law of attraction, whether or not I knew I was practicing or not, but I always said, I will go there one day. I never I hope to go there one day, or it would be nice to go there one day. I always used the words in my mind, or when I was talking to people about places I want to go, I said, I will go there. I will go there. And so that's, I think, the one tip that I have for when you are trying to manifest a trip. Just say, I'm going, I will go. Because the more and more we affirm to our minds those types of things, the more and more faster they will manifest, and the more they'll become more believable to you. The next thing I want to talk about is that when you are trying to manifest travel or a trip, it will always come in divine timing, perfect timing. As you may know with law of attraction, sometimes you can work on a manifestation, but it won't manifest until it is the right time. And we always look back in hindsight and say, I know why this happened at this time. It happened for many reasons. So if there's something that you're working on manifesting, a trip you're trying to manifest, and it doesn't seem like it's working out, just be patient. Like I've spoken about before, the bubble concept. Paint your pictures, visualize what you want to visualize, but then be able to let it go. So I originally wanted to visit parts of the Middle East and like Far Eastern Europe last summer. I wanted to do Turkey. Obviously I went to Greece last summer, but then I also wanted to go as far as Israel and possibly Jordan. So I was trying to map out this trip for myself, and then one of my friends from Toronto actually told me she was coming over to travel Europe in the summer and wanted to travel with me. So I ended up completely changing around my entire itinerary, and last minute she canceled her trip. So by trying to collaborate with another person on travel plans, I had to steer away from what I originally wanted to do, solo traveling by myself. But I trusted, if it's not going to work out this summer, then maybe next summer or next year sometime. So I kept the hope alive, and I just understood that if it can't happen now, it's meant to happen at a different time. But then as it turns out, my friend, she ended up canceling her trip, like I said, last minute. But of course you saw that my amazing sister Jen came with me and joined me in Greece, and we had the most amazing time in Corfu, Mykonos, Santorini, and Athens. If you haven't seen those travel diaries, always linked below too. So I ended up having a really great time with Jen and a really great summer, because after that I still stuck to the itinerary that I had co-collaborated on with my friend and did the rest of the summer traveling solo. And it was really amazing. I got to meet amazing people like Gabby, and I wouldn't have met Gabby if I didn't have this type of glitch in my schedule. So I just want you to know that sometimes travel plans change, sometimes things get canceled, sometimes people bail, but never freak out. Never freak out, because the universe always has a plan greater than yours. So if you are trying to manifest a trip, and like I said, it's not working, you're hitting blocks or walls, just be patient, because there's always a plan greater than yours. So as I had mentioned to you guys, which is something that I've only really followed up with on my Patrons and possibly my last Q&A, I can't remember, but I have gotten the question, is what happened with the boat opportunity? If you didn't previously know, in my Big Law of Attraction success story video, I told you guys I attracted the opportunity to work on a TV show, to sail around in a luxury yacht around the world. Something about this didn't feel right to me, to kind of dedicate a year of my life to go on a boat with a smaller amount of people and do this. I couldn't identify at the time if it was personal blocks or if it was just, I didn't really feel like it was right. So I ended up answering to my intuition and I declined the offer. And shortly after I declined the offer, I found myself back in North America for Jen's wedding and of course Christmas with my family. And while I was at Jen's wedding, this was recent that I had declined this boat project, I was kind of a little bit confused in the grand scheme of like, what's my next big thing? What's my next big project? I didn't know, and I had all these question marks. So I decided to remake a vision board while I was in Mexico, and while I had some quality time in the morning to like think about my life. I was like sitting by the water. I said, you know, what do I really want? If I had this next year, if I had 2018 to be the year of Zoe, to help me reach my next best self, what would I put on it? And so in travel, I had placed a photo of Jordan, and I had never really vocalized this on YouTube, probably not to like most of my friends or family even. It was just a trip that I knew I wanted to go on. And I had received hesitations from people whenever I told them I really wanted to go to the Middle East. I'm like, you can't go to the Middle East alone, like it's too dangerous over there right now. I'm sure that if you are North American, you probably have heard these things, and I don't watch the news for a reason. I don't really ever read the news unless I see something like pop up on Facebook. I like to go to places and I like to make my own views. I don't let judgment get in the way of my travels or where I would like to go. So I placed a photo of Jordan, Petra more specifically, on my vision board, and 3 days later, I received an email offering a 2-week trip to Jordan, all expenses paid, like visiting Petra, visiting Wadi Rum, visiting the Dead Sea, all of these things that I really, really wanted to do. And I was like, wow, like 3 days later, I was still in Mexico at this time when I got the email. It was really crazy. And I said, of course I would like to go. So going back and forth on the email, and it turns out one of the people involved in this project is actually a subscriber of mine. Hi Khaled, he's actually one of my amazing friends now. So I'm so incredibly grateful. So it just goes to show you never know what's going on behind the scenes. If you are thinking about it in your mind, if you're painting your picture in your head and you decide to place it onto a vision board, all of these things matter. And like I said, I can connect it to studying the Middle East in school and just saying I will go. And when people would say like, oh, it's too dangerous, I'd never let their judgments or fears get involved in my manifestation process. And I always just kept visualizing and thinking about what would bring me to my better self, to better share with you guys, to better inspire other people. And visiting the Middle East for the first time was one of those things. I said, what do I want to do that I know would help bring me to my next personal level and also help other people in some way? So as we know, law of attraction, it has to be for the greater good of the universe. So to be able to express to the universe, I want to visit this place and have it come from a true place of authenticity and love, I believe that's why it manifested. And what comes even more amazing with the journey is that I was allowed to bring a friend, so I brought Anastasia. The whole trip in itself, there was amazing manifestations every single day. And I've never visited a place where I said I felt, so transformed and so changed. And my manifestation was at an all-time high, and I still feel like I'm riding this high little manifestation wave, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. I feel like my powers are very strong, but it truly was just what I needed at the very perfect time. So I hope you all know that magic happens and you don't necessarily have to, like I said, voice it to the whole world or keep pressing, firing off emails right, left, and center. I didn't tell anyone that I wanted to go to Jordan. I didn't reach out to anyone in Jordan saying I want to collaborate with you on a tourism project. Nothing like this. Nothing like this. I just simply thought about it consciously. I chose the right language. I placed it onto my vision board, and within 3 days it manifested. Goes to show, vision boards are successful. I have a whole video on success stories from a previous one that I had while I was living in Toronto. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe down below, and special shout out to my Patreon community. Thank you so much for just being there with me. As you guys know, I'm not posting as much on here, but if you do really want more content from me, you can join my community on Patreon and I'll be there. Love you guys. Bye.